The conviction of 47-year-old former Lok Sabha MP from Hassan and grandson of former Prime Minister H.D. Devagowda. Prajwal Revanna convicted in one of the 4 rape cases against him. This was a case of rape of a 48-year-old domestic help, Vasudha, and was seen as an open and shut case with extraordinary bout of evidence. The significant aspect, though, Vasudha, is the fact that the trial started in May 2025, and we have this conviction in record time by August 1st.
I remember this case making a lot of waves, Veera, during elections. Remarkable speed in delivering justice in this case, which was investigated by the special investigation team. There was forensic evidence in the form of the sari of the victim with the accused's DNA. There were thousands of obscene video clips recorded by the accused himself that constituted digital evidence, and this was indeed an open and shut case.
Well, it was the case that left everyone shocked, Vasudha, about the extent and the scale of abuse that women had suffered. The political links and the power of the JDS family had led to sharp focus on this case. That's right, Vasudha, this was an important case, and the sentencing in the case will be closely watched, which will happen tomorrow. Let's listen in to those reactions that came in.
There was a gap of 4 years for lodging the FIR. She could not raise her voice in view of her poverty. After the sexual assault by the accused, she left the job, though she was suffering from poverty. And then at that time, they were not ready to leave her. That's why she kept her in that working place. That was recovered only during the course of investigation after forming the SIT. This is the message I can say today. It is sent by the MLA MP court. The purpose of the establishing the court was this is the same thing. Whatever may be the impression in the mind of the people, big people, but this is the strongest message for the lawmakers.
Conviction proves all the allegations made by the victims from Hassan, and I think it is time that the JDS leaders and the BJP leaders come out and answer the questions that the people have been asking for long. While you endorse his parliamentary candidature, Modi ji comes and campaigns for him. You have the entire Gowda family rallying around him, saying he's innocent. And I think these answers should be given by them rather than Congress.
It's an extremely important case, one that shook the system in many ways, multiple dimensions to it. Obviously, because he was a former MP and had the influence of a political family, there were several doubts that were raised. But of course, the investigation carried out by the special investigating team. Joining us this evening, Vasudha, Brinda Adige, social activist who has followed this case very closely. Also with us, senior journalist from Karnataka, Ramakrishna Upadhyay. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Brinda Adige, obviously the focus will now be on the sentencing, but the speed in which the trial went through and the conviction came about is something that will be looked at very closely and something that will need to be seen as a test case in many ways.
Absolutely right. It's almost a trailblazer, because we know that these kind of cases are there across India, especially against powerful people. And in this particular case, the judge not only has put his or her foot down, but has assured and helped to restore faith in the judiciary. For too long, and many cases, we often see if the person is powerful, the person has a lot of influence, they have money, and in this particular case, this is a classic case of power, influence, and money all rolled up together. And it is not something that has happened just once or twice. It's happened over decades, and it has always been covered up. And the case coming up and the fast track of this case and ensuring that this man is going to be convicted with a punishment tomorrow restores our faith in the judiciary. Tells also that people, especially women, who always are scared to come up and speak because of aspersions being cast on them, provocate that why did they not talk about it earlier? Why are they doing it now? It was consensual. So all these kind of statements were also made by Prajwal Revanna. All of that has been put to rest and said there's forensic evidence, there are depositions and statements made, and all of these have made a watertight case along with the prosecution, the police, and the judiciary, and this man is being convicted. I also heard
Also,
that he
actually
broke
made a
down
lot
in
of difference
court.
that the accused himself had shot a lot of videos, and digital evidence actually played an important role. Mr. Upadhyay, how do you see this in the context of Karnataka politics? Because this is a man who comes from a very high-profile Karnataka family, politician's family. What does this mean for the people of Karnataka? As a political analyst, how do you see this?
Vasudha, I think it's a very important moment in Karnataka politics because Devagowda family has been very, very powerful political family, and I think it's the first of its kind. Where a very powerful political family has been indicted in this particular case. And I mean, everybody knows it is an open shut case because the evidence was so overwhelmingly against Prajwal Revanna. It was expected that he would be convicted. And remember, there are two more cases which are pending, and so he has to face trial. He has been in judicial custody for more than a year. Attempts have been made to take him out on bail, but as always, courts have always refused. I think what has come out today will definitely help the society to feel that at least there is some justice happening. This came in the middle of the 2024 Lok Sabha election campaign. I remember Prime Minister Modi was in Karnataka campaigning for the second phase of elections, and this was blown in the media. And he could not even react to what was happening. But the first phase of the elections, where Hassan Lok Sabha election, where Prajwal was a candidate, had already happened on April 26th. But everybody knew that there was some pen drive which was being circulated in the constituency. I think 48 hours before the elections, and the Prajwal's misdeeds were already well known to the people, and I think that's one of the reasons why he lost that election.
I mean, victory, defeat on one side, but I think the bigger lesson was the fact that this was an extremely influential person.
Yeah.
The fact that the case was, a conviction in record time. I think this would be something that would be seen as a model precedent in cases of this nature.
Yes.
Perhaps that there can be no sense of tolerance. But thanks to both of you for joining us here on this case. We will, of course, look closely at the sentencing. Remember, would be a key aspect, Vasudha.
Yes, and that is going to be announced on the 2nd of August is what we understand.
Which is tomorrow.